It's time for some Chiefs minicamp news and notes. I'm Harrison Graham from the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. Justyn Ross had a big day of practice after a pretty quiet OTAs period. I thought that was important. Patrick Mahomes, Marquise continuing to build their connection, and this rookie keeps on making plays. We'll get to all that, plus a couple other nuggets before we get out of here. Let's start with Justyn Ross as he was making some plays on Wednesday. The ultra-talented, off-injured wide receiver had a couple of touchdowns during Wednesday's practice, and I had said last week, I don't know, we haven't heard much about Justyn Ross. We've heard about a lot of other receivers, but right on cue, he has a big day. It felt like a much-needed big day for Justyn Ross, who I still like the talent. I still believe in the player. I just don't know with his injury history and not really built to play special teams factor that can he be a major contributor on this team. I think that remains to be seen, but he's right there in the mix. I mean, there's a ton of receivers that are going to fight for roster spots. I mean, obviously your top three there are going to make this team, but then really from Sky Moore down, Justin Watson, Kadarius Toney, Justyn Ross, Nico Remigio, Montrell Washington, I think all those guys are going to fight for roster spots, and it's going to be a tough call for Andy Reid and company. The wide receiver competition, especially for the depth spots, will be very, very stiff. Even if they went crazy and carried 7 wide receivers, there's still going to be 1 or 2 guys that are on the outside looking in. We saw it last year in training camp with Remigio pushing for a spot and with Amir Smith-Marset playing well. They ultimately traded him to Carolina. So something to monitor going into training camp. I think it's probably the position group that I'm going to be watching most closely. Will Justyn Ross make the Chiefs' 53-man roster? You can type Y for yes, or you can type in for no. I would probably lean in for no based on the guys who are in the mix, but it's certainly not a firm no for me. Got to see it play out just a little bit more. Let's get to Marquise Brown, as Hollywood has been stepping up in practice as well. He had a strong day and spoke to reporters and talked about the connection he's been able to build with his new quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. He says, it's been good from when we started training in Dallas to now. It's been big improvement. This offense is fast. We're going to put a lot of pressure on people for sure. It's going to be exciting, and people should get excited. He was so good that Pete Sweeney called him the Offensive Player of the Day on Wednesday, saying Hollywood Brown earned this here due to early chemistry with Patrick Mahomes. Looks like they have been together a while. Connection led to a perfect back shoulder touchdown over Trent McDuffie, best corner on the team, in 7-on-7, and a deep shot touchdown that beat Chamari Connor during a late 11-on-11 period. Marquise Brown talked about that deep ball touchdown in particular and said, saw the blitz, put my head down, trusted that Mahomes was going to throw it, looked up, ball was in the air, and I just made a play. And I continue to be excited about this acquisition. You look at what he's done in his career. He's been a good player, but I still think there's potential to be reached at even higher. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to have a 1,300-yard season, but I think his impact can be bigger here than it's been with other stops. It was kind of up and down with Baltimore and Lamar. The Cardinals were in a kind of a rebuild the last couple of years. Kyler got hurt, missed a lot of time. I'm going to predict it right now. I think Hollywood Brown has a huge year. And if Rashee Rice misses even just 4 games, I think Brown will lead the receivers in receiving. It wouldn't shock me at all if he pushed for a 1,000-yard season this year. Now, obviously, Travis Kelce is going to catch a lot of balls. If Rice is healthy, he's going to get the most targets among the receivers. But with how much they continue to emphasize the deep ball and bringing that back into this offense, Hollywood Brown's skill set translates the most of that, and we've seen it in practice pretty consistently. So that's exciting to think about, and I can't wait to see the Chiefs do that more this year. Now, we have a hat and T-shirt combo available on sale right now at chatsports.com/KC Combo. You get this hat and T-shirt together for a discount today. If you're attending training camp, you're going to want to get some new gear. So pick that up right now. Link is in the comments and in the description, chatsports.com/KC Combo. It is chatsports.com/KC Combo. Pick yourself up a hat and T-shirt Chiefs combo gear today. All right, let's talk about Jared Wiley, a player I've watched for a few years now because he attended my alma mater, TCU. He has consistently been showing out during rookie minicamp, OTAs, mandatory minicamp. He's a name that consistently gets brought up by reporters with boots on the ground. Pete Sweeney again here, talking other offensive notes, very nearly gave Offensive Player of the Day to rookie tight end Jared Wiley, who is making his presence known early. I counted 6 catches for Wiley on the day, including 3 touchdowns, 2 of which were in the red zone. Way too early indications that Wiley will be a red zone factor in 2024, which is exciting and not shocking to me. I mean, he's 6'6", 6'7", 250 pounds. He's got the frame. He's got the fluidity. He's got the hands. He can be a red zone threat from day one. He had 8 touchdowns last year for TCU. Just 1 drop. He's good after the catch. I said it in loose terms, but he's got some Travis Kelce to his game where he can run good routes. He can make people miss. Now, he's not Kelce. He's not that fast. Kelce's a top 10 greatest player of all time in this league, I would say. But he's got some similar traits in terms of a player offensively. And, I think he could be the long-term heir apparent, being the tight end 1 of this team. But for the right here and right now, while I still think Noah Gray is a good player and going to be a contributor for this team, probably a better blocker than Wiley for now, although Andy Reid pointed to Wiley's blocking in college. My prediction here is Wiley will be tight end 2 sooner rather than later. He is much more dynamic than Noah Gray as a receiving tight end, although Gray's solid. And I think he's a good enough blocker where he's going to find his way on the field. It wouldn't shock me if he went out there and had 4 or 5 touchdowns this year. I really do think that's possible for him in his rookie year. And then if he plays well, his role is only going to grow from there. So I'm excited to see him. I think it's a great fit for him to end up with Mahomes and in Andy Reid's offense. I think skill set wise, that really works. And he's learning from the best in Travis Kelce. So I love the pick at the time. Seems to be fitting just like a glove early on in the process as he's learning everything. And excited to see what he does in training camp and on into the preseason. Let us know, guys. Who do you think will be the Chiefs' number 2 tight end this year? You think it'll be Jared Wiley? Noah Gray is going to be that guy initially, but I think Wiley's already ahead of Irv Smith Jr., and I think he could unseat Noah Gray pretty quickly. So drop a name down in the comment section below. Couple other nuggets before we get out of here. Mecole Hardman reportedly looks fast, looks to be in good shape despite just signing last week. So that's a good sign, getting him back in the fold as well. Sky Moore had a touchdown catch after struggling at OTAs. That's good. He caught one from Carson Wentz, so that does indicate he's working with the twos, but he's firmly in that wide receiver battle as well. Joshua Williams had a strong day also as he's fighting to be a starting corner on this team. Remember, if Shamari Connor's going to be your primary nickel, then McDuffie and Watson will have the first cracks at outside corner, but Watson coming off that offseason surgery. Josh Williams still firmly in the mix, so keep an eye on him as well as the offseason continues. All right, that's going to do it for today's Chiefs Report. Tomorrow we'll be back with mandatory minicamp winners and losers. We'll put a wrap on minicamp and kind of get you ready for the rest of the offseason before the team returns for training camp. My name is Harrison Graham. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow.